It seems to me no matter what Obama does, it will just be acceptable and he will get away with it. No matter if it's treason, high treason, any amount of things. Because now the Rhino Republicans aren't even recommending that they indict Obama. They were going to question Obama, but now they're not going to because he's too black to fail. It's simple as that. It sounds racist, but it's true. It's like the too big to fail for the banks. That's exactly what they did with Obama. They pin all their hopes on these identitarian groups so they can never remove them. Whether it's someone black or someone a woman or someone gay or this or that or the other. And that reliance on identitarian politics has kept them in power and maintained their hegemony. So, not only that, the media just hasn't covered any conspiracy. It hasn't been covering any of the corruption of Obama or Hillary Clinton or Uranium One or anything else that came out. Or, giving weapons to China, giving nuclear weapons to China, the Clinton regime, giving uranium to Russia. Just every administration did something terrible. Giving all that money to Iran, the Obama regime, and Bo Bergdahl case. That's treason. There was treason on top of treason with every administration, but it will never be reined in because the media didn't report on it. The media's job is to maintain the globalist hegemony, and therefore they only report on any crimes of the Republican side because the globalists have called themselves a liberal world order, and they've appointed themselves as left-wing. Even if they're not left-wing, if they're not liberal or anything else, they just use those words. And therefore anyone that's right-wing must be crushed, must be the enemy, and therefore right-wing media like Fox News, etc., which isn't even right-wing. They don't even care about Trump. In fact, they want to destroy Trump, and they want to protect Obama. So right-wing. But the people who have been reading and watching nothing but the mainstream media have found themselves in an echo chamber all this time where they don't know anything. So you talk to them about actual things that matter, and they don't have a clue because they weren't told about it. They were only told about Stormy Daniels. They were only told about fake Russian collusion for 3 years that didn't happen. And that's acceptable. The media's allowed to carry on and report and just apologise. CBS can show A.G. Barr saying something and then talking about the rule of law. Cut him off just before he says the rule of law and then criticise him for not saying about rule of law, which is what they did. And that couldn't have been a mistake. That was deliberately done on purpose, but he just apologised anyway, Chuck Todd. He can just apologise because the media can just apologise, and we for some reason accept it. They've been living in their echo chamber, reinforcing distracting narratives to prevent real news from getting found out about. And whenever real news seeps out into the mainstream somehow and they haven't reported on it, they deny it. They deny its even existence because they didn't report on it, so it can't have happened. Just like they deny the existence of UV radiation actually killing coronavirus. Just like they deny facts that have been known for decades by millions of people. Just tell them, no, you don't know those things. You don't know those things because you didn't see them on CNN. Yeah, that's going to work. These people are deluded and desperate. That's why they resorted to throwing shit and seeing if it sticks. And anything that sticks becomes a media narrative, and they milk it and go along with it and interview people that aren't even relevant to it and interview Hollywood celebrities and find out what they think about it. Anything but the news. Anything but the news. Mainstream media doesn't tell you the news. Mainstream media is a gulag that reports false narratives to distract from actual news that comes out that is threatening to their hegemony or their monopoly. Mainstream media operates like a mafia in the background, shutting down their competition and preventing the presence of a free press as outlined in the Constitution. So, by protecting CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, you are preventing a free press and violating the Constitution. So the media should be illegal because it's not media. And anyone protecting the televised mafia and the deep state are enemies, are criminals. It's very straightforward and it needs to be dealt with. It can't be ignored this time, otherwise we will find ourselves falling headfirst into civil war and world war. And it's just not worth it. It's worth Trump pressing the advantage while he's got it. It's worth going on the offensive rather than just being on the defensive all the time because you know they're not going to stop. You know they're not going to suddenly say, oh, we've had 4 coup attempts, let's just not bother with a 5th. Press the advantage and you win the war. Follow the rules and we all lose.